Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. My name is Sophie, for those of you who may be new here. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I am your friendly tarot reader. I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. My basic menu of readings can be found pinned at the bottom of the chat. And yes, the donation queue is indeed open, so if you have a question that you would like me to answer for you, whoever donates next will be read for next. My basic menu of options starts with my mini reading, which is just one question, and it consists of 5 cards. That is a donation amount of $7.77 if you donate using Cashapp, PayPal, or Venmo. If you need to use SuperChat, it's $9.99. I then offer my full reading. That consists of 10 cards. That can just be one full question or can be split into 2 5-card readings. That's a donation amount of $14.14 if you donate using Cashapp, PayPal, or Venmo. If you need to use Super Chat, it is available for you, and it is $20.20. And then finally, I offer my in-depth or expanded reading. That consists of 15 cards. That can just be one full reading, which I highly recommend. We get deep, it's comprehensive, or it can be split into one 10-card reading, one 5-card reading, or split into 3 individual 5-card readings. And that is a donation amount of $21.21 if you donate using Cashapp, PayPal, or Venmo. If you need to use Super Chat, it is $29.29. I answer all sorts of questions. As I mentioned earlier, I do not answer medical and or legal questions, but anything else I answer lots of spiritual questions, career-related questions, finance-related questions, and a lot of interpersonal questions, lots of love and lots of romance questions. And for that, I highly recommend my OG Love reading. I've been offering that. I started offering that, I think, when I first started my professional practice 5.5 years ago. It is very comprehensive. It answers 5 questions in one. It tells you what your person's current thoughts are towards you, their current feelings, their current intentions, their general energies towards the connection, and your general energies towards the connection. And it can be done with a mini, a full, or an in-depth reading, and it's at no additional donation amount. It's just what the donation amounts are there. I also offer soulmate confirmation readings while we're on the topic of love and romance. While it doesn't have to necessarily be of a romantic nature, soulmate confirmation readings are pretty self-explanatory. I highly recommend these readings for those of you who are currently in a connection with someone right now, especially if you've been in connection with someone for like 1 to 3 months and you're kind of wondering where it's heading. It's a very directly answered question. We can ask it in one of 2 ways. The first way that we can ask it is we ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if the person in your life is indeed a soulmate of yours. If the answer is yes, they'll explain why and in what context. If the answer is no, they'll explain why not. Alternatively, we can ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if they give their divinely ordained blessing towards this connection. And if they do, they'll explain why. If not, they'll explain why not. And that is a 10-card reading. It is a donation amount of $16.16 if you donate using Cashapp, PayPal, or Venmo. If you need to use Super Chat, it is $23.23. I also offer past life confirmation readings. I've been studying past life regression therapy since I was very, very young. There is really no limitation to the intention behind what we ask Spirit to illustrate in terms of one of your past lives, and we all have many past lives. Some of us have more than others depending on how old of a soul we are, but we have many past lives that really run the gamut in terms of we are different genders, we're different cultures, we're different socioeconomic statuses, we have lives all over the world. But what's extremely fascinating is that past life regression therapy can really explain a lot about you and your soul at this time. We can ask Spirit to illustrate a past life of yours that can help you navigate the challenges in this life the best. We can ask Spirit to illustrate a past life of yours that can explain a recurring nightmare or dream you've had throughout your life. We can ask Spirit to illustrate a past life of yours that can explain an irrational fear that you've had throughout your life that's inexplicable. And there's really no limit. And if you don't have a specific intentional question, I think the best way to ask it is just to ask Spirit to illustrate the past life of yours that they feel is most necessary for you to hear. And that is a 10-card reading, and is a donation amount of $19.19. And if you need to use a SuperChat, it is $27.27. Hi, Charles. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for hyping me up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you. I also offer mediumship readings. I can communicate with those who are no longer with us. I would be honored to read for you and communicate with someone, a loved one of yours who is no longer with us on this earthly plane. Before sending your donation, I do need to know your loved one's name, their date of passing, their date of birth, and their relation to you. It is super helpful if you can provide me with a photograph of them, either through email or through DMs on Instagram, but it's not mandatory. 95% of the time I can get in touch with your loved one. There have been a few times where I haven't been able to, and that's why I always check in for free before sending your donation, because I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to lead you on. I want to let you know, yes, we can indeed reach your loved one, and go forward with that. So yes, if that is something that you are indeed interested in, please let me know beforehand. I would be absolutely honored to read for you. And that is a donation amount of $35.35 if you donate using Cashapp, PayPal, or Venmo. If you need to use SuperChat, it is $50.50. I also offer private readings. I offer 2 different types of private readings. The first type of private reading that I offer is by appointment only. It's one-on-one. Simply email me or send me a message over Instagram, of which y'all should all go follow me on. Just send me a DM on there, and we can schedule your private reading. They are completely confidential. I do them over Zoom. So you see the cards, you see me, you hear me, but it is one-on-one attention with me and you. You can give me all the context and backstory that you feel is necessary. I do not record the Zoom sessions. If you want to record the Zoom sessions, that for your personal reference, that's totally fine. But I will not. Those things you will do. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I gave a wonderful reading to Charles the other day. That was, and I love giving private readings to my clients. It really helps me get to know you more and helps you understand me more. It's just a more private, intimate way of getting to know one another on a spiritual level. And again, there's no limit to the number of questions that we can answer within the time frame. It is one-on-one, my undivided attention. Alternatively, I also offer private readings at no additional donation amount. If you don't see me online for whatever reason, and because I'm not on every night. I am on most nights, but not every night. If you have a question that you need Miss Sophie to answer for you and I'm not online, I always have a deck of cards with me. Just send me your donation with your question, and I will be able to answer your question. At the latest in 24 hours, but I can usually do it within a 1 to 3 hour turnaround. And I answer those via voice memos over DMs over Instagram or typed via email, whichever you prefer. But that's also private, offers you that level of discretion and privacy that a YouTube live stream simply can't, and is also convenient for you and on your time and your schedule. So with all that being said, the donation queue is indeed open. So whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you all so very much. Wendy! Wendy, love. How are you doing? Oh, I told myself I wasn't going to ask people that tonight because don't ask me how I'm doing. Just don't ask me how I'm doing. I'm very in tune with spirit, and that's all you need to know. Happy Sunday, love. Happy Sunday. How can I help you, sweetheart? I just found my digital camera from college. Oh my gosh! So are you going through lots of nice memories? I've been going through some old photos too myself. It isn't charged, so I'll find out when it is. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, mine broke on a grave. I used to go to this one graveyard in Oakland, Piedmont specifically, with my friends, and I dropped it on a grave and it broke. And but I did say the card saved and I uploaded everything to Facebook. My question is, if I have to go back to my work, what's Spirit's advice? Excellent question, my love. Okay. By the way, because it's you, 2:40 p.m. today. But you didn't have to go. This was the thing, Wendy. We didn't want to take baby to. She hates being in the car. It would have traumatized her so much. We didn't want to. We had an appointment for her tomorrow, but we wanted her to go at home because she wouldn't have had it any other way, and everything was always on her terms. So yeah, we wish. This is all. This live stream is dedicated to Miss Jalila McGow. We love you, girl. We love you. All right. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to return to her work? Thank you. She was so loved, and she knew it. She better have known it. No, she knew she was so loved. She knew she was so loved. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to her work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to her work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to her work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to her work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to her work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to her work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to her work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What advice do you have for Wendy if she has to go back to her work? I was just I'm looking at like. Did you mean if you have to go back to work in general? Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah, your work. Yeah. I'm taking a little break from. Okay, let's see. We have 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. 2 of Wands. 10 of Cups. 4 of Swords. And Ace of Swords. Interesting. An ace and the 10 of Cups. The ace this is a new beginning, and I think I've mentioned it to you before. Out of all of the aces, this is my least favorite ace, which isn't to mean that it's not a bad ace. An ace is an ace. It's a new beginning. Ace of Swords is a victory. It is your voice being heard. I don't think things will be the same, and in a positive way. I know that's hell of John Lennon of me, and just like, I think things will go back to being harmony when you go back, but honestly, Harmony. We literally have the Ten of Cups. And when I said harmony, I was like, oh wait, but we didn't get the Four of Wands. No, wait, but we got the Ten of Cups. That's harmony. However, this first card, Five of Cups, this is feelings of regret, of guilt, of loss. Wish I had my card cam here. I'll have it in a couple of days. We have this Four of Swords and this Two of Wands, which brings me to this. I believe that this will be a temporary endeavor. I think you are going to go back. If you do have to go back to your work, bear in mind that it will be temporary. This is not a forever situation because you have options, you have decisions with this Two of Wands. So, quite good news, actually. Quite good news, surprisingly good news. Things would be far more harmonious. Caveat, only if you see it as a temporary stepping stone to the next chapter. And that's part of this Ace of Swords. It's not the Ace of Pentacles. It's not the Ace of Wands. It's not a beginning with a solid foundation. It's not a brand new beginning. It's a beginning where your voice is finally being heard in a way that it wasn't in the past. Where you will find victory in places where you didn't find it in the past. Okay, because I have to go back, I'm going to ask to transfer to another team. Obviously, I'll keep job searching. Oh, if you, sorry, I misread that. Because if I have to go back, I'm going to ask to transfer. Good. Yeah. And that's what I mean, 10 of Cups, girl, and 2 of Wands. Those are options and harmony. I was surprised when I wasn't surprised when I'm sorry, I'm a negative Nancy, I guess, today. Wondered why. Sorry. But when I pulled that 5 of Cups, I was like, oh yeah, regrets. And then when I pulled this, I don't know if you saw my face, but I was like, 10 of Cups, okay, like, harmony, change, definitely change, and I don't know if you noticed, but these are all upright cards, all great upright cards with the exception of this 5 of Cups. These are all wonderful. So, yeah, I'm also surprised that it will be, me too, yeah, you know, based on just what you've told me and what you're living, yeah, that of course it's a surprise, yeah. But tarot's never let me down, and never let you down. I'm going to tell them they're working me too hard, and with my leave, I need support. Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing that you're being completely forthright. You know, there's nothing there where you're being insincere. Or facetious. You're being very genuine. Like, yeah, they're overworking you, and they're not compensating you. They're not equally compensating you. And that's this Ace of Swords, girl. Speaking your voice, and your voice, not just speaking your voice, but it being, when it's upright, it's finally being heard in a way that wasn't heard in the past. Yes. And if they want to lay me off, that's fine. Precisely. If they don't want to abide by your terms, that's fine. They can lay you off. You know, you've earned your unemployment. They're not going to lay you off. I mean, maybe they will. Hey, Mahogany. If you donated, I'm currently reading for Wendy. If you donated, you would be, unless Wendy has additional questions, you would be read for next. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's a big part of what this Ace of Swords is not just your voice being heard, but that victory that I was mentioning. Ace of Swords represents a victory. And when your voice is being heard and you have a valid statement, a valid argument, I'd say that's a victory. Definitely say that's a victory. Again, Four of Swords doesn't. This is not a long-term situation, but in the interim, very, very promising. Very, very promising. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, Wendy. Thank you. Much love and light to you. Always a joy to speak to you. And yeah, I was surprised, but I also can see that happening for sure. Because they value you so much, and you know it. Yeah. All right, Miss Mahogany. Yeah, I still need money while I'm in this transition. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you looked into freelancing a little bit while you're in this transition? I know these transitions can be daunting. I've taken them myself, like a little break, and it's just like, okay, now I have all this time that while I was working full time, I would resent that I didn't have all this time, and now that I have all this time, I'm not using the time in the way that I would have when I was working full time. That was what went through my head when I did a similar thing. Now we're two different people, so I don't know, but that's what happened with me. Was like I every day. Thank you so much, Mahogany. Every day at like my full time work, I had two jobs. It was like I'm wasting all this time, and then once I had that time, it's like I'm wasting it. Now I'm wasting it, and so, but I would fear that I would fall into wasting it. I've looked at different options, but it's just a tough market, and people got to build trust. Yeah, I understand that. I understand. How long ago was it when you did, when you last did freelance stuff? All right, Miss Mahogany, let's go ahead and add you here, girl. Mahogany, please go ahead and post your question, love. Thank you. About 5 years, yeah. Yeah, a lot can change in 5 years, but also a lot, if you did good work and people trusted you, I'm sure you can regain that trust again. Sorry, I'll be right back, folks. So, Taha decided to just ignore and not even follow through with the plans he made. So I sent a lengthy voicemail and wanted to know how he will respond. Okay. So your question is, how will he respond to your voicemail? And I'm so sorry, Mahogany. That's really schmarmy that he did that. That's yeah. Oh, I was hoping no one would ask me that tonight. Just tonight. My kitty cat died. So I was like, I can either watch Modern Family and binge watch that and just like eat hella Pringles and cocktails and cry, or I can go online. So here I am, not doing great. But I'm really in touch with spirit. Because that happens when someone you love passes. Anyway, have I had my birthday yet? My birthday's in January, girlfriend. Yes. Yeah, if he does it all, because that pissed me off. I'm so sorry, Mahogany. That's so. What's his sign again? And you're a Leo, right? Wait, when's your birthday? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm this evening. This evening. And tomorrow. I was supposed to have a meeting with my new boss tomorrow, and she's so sweet. She is so sweet and so kind. I was like, can you just wait one more day? I just want one day. And she was like, yeah. And she like rearranged things, and I'm very blessed to have good people in my life that are very understanding. Yours is July 24th. It passed. Did I give you a free reading already? We're doing the honor system here. I don't know. Did I already give you a free reading? That's the same birthday as my ex. I know. I love, probably because I love Leos. You didn't? Well, then you get one today, honey. You get one today. Because I've been not lacking on that, but I forget to mention to people, like, you get a free reading on your birthday. So, honey, you will get next. Do you want to make this a 10-card reading, or do you have 2 questions? For sure, babe. I'm sorry I forgot to mention it to you. Yeah. I like, yeah, no, I had a little like message from my guides, like, you need to remind your Leos, like, you need to remind all your people, like, when it's their birthday. Like, I know. So yeah, we can do a 10-card reading for this question, or you can add another question onto this if you'd like. And I'm not gone, I'm just off camera. Well, you can start this one, and if I need more, I'll ask what this situation is, not a last minute. Good. That's a very good way of going about it. I agree. We'll expand if we need to, and if not, we'll move on to another question. All right. So we want to know. So Taha is serving and wants to know how will Taha respond to you? I'll ask how he'll respond to you, because if he's not going to respond to you, Spirit will say it's just not going to happen. But if he is going to respond to you, they'll let you know. So we'll start it with that. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Taha respond to Mahogany's voicemail? When did you send the voicemail, babe? When did this all go down? We have 6 of Swords reversed, 4 of Wands, the World reversed, about 20 minutes ago, okay, 4 of Cups reversed, and 10 of Wands reversed. He feels badly, as he should. He feels badly, as he should, and he wants to make it better. He does not want to leave you. He does not want this to be the end of you and him. With the 6 of Swords reversed, this was not an excuse for him to just, like, go away. He should feel like crap. And his whole MO, 4 of Cups reversed, he feels like crap. And this situation made him realize that he's got to do better. He's got to end this cycle, because you're not the first woman that he's done this to. And it's not the right behavior. He's getting too old for this. He's getting too old for this. He knows that he hurt you. And he didn't mean to. But he knows that his negligence and his laissez-faire, just like wonky-donkey attitude is not the way to go. And it's hurting him, it's hurt you, and he wants to relieve you of that hurt. Tell me why I told him I'm not the first woman he has done this to. Okay, see, yeah, I'm telling you that too. I'm telling you that too. You are not the first woman he's done this to, and I don't know how old he is. I don't know how long he's been doing this for, but at this point he's just like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, this is a cycle that needs to come to a close. The world reversed. Harmony needs to be restored. Four of Wands. I see him reaching out to you, babe. I see him reaching out to you. And I see him reaching out to you and apologizing. And I often get questions like, will he apologize to me? And sometimes the answer is yes, but the apology isn't sincere. In this case, you didn't ask that question. You didn't ask if he was going to apologize to you. But I'm telling you, I see apologies here and sincere ones. I'm not saying he's a saint. He better knock on wood because karma got. Yes, I told him nobody gets away with treating me like that. Yeah, he is scared. He's scared. He's hoping that you can forgive him. He really knows that he screwed up here, and I'm not apologizing for him. His behavior, that's crap. Yeah. But he also, I see a man who actually is recognizing that this isn't the way to go. Which doesn't mean that you should just take him back either. I wouldn't have expected it from his stubborn ass, but I will say I was as nice as I could be in that message because I wanted to go further. Yeah, you were understanding. You didn't just tear him to shreds. You just said, I don't know what you said, but I'm going to guess that you just you spoke your heart. You told him exactly what was on your mind. You didn't berate him. You didn't, belittle him or anything. You just said, like, hey, not the right behavior, especially not with me. Don't know what you're doing here. But that doesn't jive with me. That doesn't, it's not something I roll with. It's not something I can abide by. It's not part of my boundaries and my comfort levels. And yeah, I see a man who definitely feels remorseful, and wants to restore a unity and a sense of harmony between the two of you. Now, long term, do we know how deeply he's going to be this way? No. But at least in the current energies right now, what I see is a remorseful man who has every intention of reaching out to you. On a better note, I had my first vending book signing event today. Yes! Congratulations! Congratulations! How did that go? And oh, by the way, we can expand on that last reading if you want. I can just pull the cards out again. As you should. As you should, Mahogany. As you should. I love how many... I have quite a few clients who are writers on here, and different types of writing, different genres and whatnot. And I was always a writer, and then I stopped, and you guys really inspire me to do my thing. Go forth. Sure. Post away. Oh, awesome. That's wonderful. We need more of those. We need more mental health awareness events of all types. Coming from me. How will my event in September go? All right, love. Let's see. I love that. That's wonderful, love. How will your event in September go? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Masters and Spirit Guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Thanks, Masters and Spirit Guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Thanks, Masters and Spirit Guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Thanks, Masters and Spirit Guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? Thanks, Masters and Spirit Guides, how will Mahogany's mental health awareness event go in September? I mean, my current thought face there. Alright. Let's see. Seven of Swords, the Empress, Five of Cups, the Fool reversed, an Ace of Wands, the Empress and the Ace of Wands. That's creation. That's new beginnings. And this Seven of Swords, I'm not seeing as, no, girl, hold on one sec. So I study the cards every day, even though I've been studying them like my whole life. And there was a new, okay, there were two new definitions of Seven of Swords that I learned over the past like 6 months or so. Past year. First one was pluckiness, and I'm not getting that energy from this. It's the other positive. I'm not getting negative energy from this Seven of Swords. Nay. I'm getting that this is your new path. This is a new path for you that you are blind to seeing. Not blind, you know you have potential, but there are certain things that, like, the actual like depth of potential that you can reach with this is much grander than you would have thought. And correct me if I'm wrong, but do you have some self-doubts here? Because I'm getting this mixed message of this is going to be such a success, yet I see with this Five of Cups feelings of regret, like why did I do this? I kind of do sometimes. Like today I was a little anxious about this event. And I think we've talked, I don't know if it was me and you or another one of my writer friends. I think it was you. And you had a book event and I told you that you were going to meet tons of people, but in terms of sales, it wasn't going to do great. But it was totally worth your while. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. And not to do with sales. I think you're actually going to make money from this. I think you are going to do very well with sales. But I think that, I mean, even in books that are improving mental health, the people who seek those are often in a lot of pain. And there's difficult things to talk about. Yeah, the vendors seem to be happy about the event. Yeah. Come for the vendors, the sign of gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I see hesitation with this Five of Cups, the Fool reverse, personal hesitations on your part. But what I'm seeing from Spirit with this Empress and the Ace of Wands is absolutely go forth with this. This will be such aces, as I was mentioning to Wendy previously. The aces are beginnings, as we know in all cards. It's beginnings. Ace of Wands is an entirely brand new beginnings. The first card in the minor arcana. Ironically, I see the Fool reversed a lot of times next to the Ace of Wands, and the Fool is the first card in the major arcana. So what I always I've seen those two cards together a lot, and to me they're not canceling each other out. It's more this is what you're going to feel, and this is what you're going to experience, you know. But the mental health awareness event is less about money and more intimate, so it's right up my alley. I'm thinking of starting a nonprofit or doing philanthropy. Oh, that's wonderful. That, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And that's that new beginning here, love. Is I think this might, like, now that you're telling me that, this sounds like it could very well lead you on a fortuitous new path that has everything that, you know, that has to do with mental health, but is not necessarily writing and publishing books and selling them regarding mental health. Because I will keep doing, as you should. Yeah, as you should, as you should. Absolutely, they're very, very, yeah, very, very advantageous for you, love. Very advantageous. Absolutely. Definitely worth your while. Will be the beginning of creation. Empress, Ace of Wands. There's something new on the horizon here. The event today, I did a back to school giveaway and a raffle prize for the vendors that showed. That's the Empress. You're a very creative woman. That's a really cool, like, creative way of bringing people to the table, literally, and and um, and promoting yourself and promoting mental health awareness. These are, yeah, continue going, and it's in your heart and you know it. It's all worth your while. It's all definitely worth your while. Um, Good thing. This is very good. This is very good, Mahogany. I really like this. Yeah. Like, it may not turn out exactly the way that it will be a success, but it may not turn out in the way that you envisioned it to be successful. But I do see success. Absolutely, absolutely. Hi, Serena J. Welcome, welcome. If you have a question, all my donation information can be found at the bottom of the chat. Thank you. I am trying to think of what to do next month. Maybe breast cancer awareness for October. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, yeah. And I believe, I want to say September might be Women's Heart Health, Cardiac Health Awareness Month. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'll look into that if you don't. Thank you so much, love. Thank you, and love and light to you. You got this. You're gonna slay. You're gonna slay. You're gonna do great. And yeah. And this guy Taha, I do see him reaching out to you. Actions speak louder than words. Be mindful more of his actions than his words, which is not to say that his words are insincere. I told you, I felt a sincere apologies from him. When I see apologies that are not sincere, I let people know. This feels very sincere, but actions will always speak louder than words at the end of the day, at the same time. So hold him to that. Hold his values to his actions. Thank you so much, love. Love and light to you, and you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and a great start to your week. Thank you. All right, so the donation queue is once, yeah, his words are always sincere, but his actions not so much. Yeah, and that's, it's not to say that his words aren't sincere. It's just a matter of he's got to match his actions. Yeah, he's got to match his. I think he genuinely wants to change his ways, but if he can't, then the sincerity goes down the toilet, you know? Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, love. I hear you. It gets old. It gets old real fast. It gets old real fast. Yeah. So take it all with a grain of salt. But yeah, you'll be hearing from him, and he'll be apologetic, and we'll see where he goes from there. Take it very slowly. Yeah. If at all. Your choice, babe. Your choice. To you. Well, thank you again, love. Thank you. All right, so the donation queue is open. So whoever donates. Heavy on the grain of salt. Seriously, seriously. Maybe some like one of those really thick Himalayan pink kosher salt grain things. Yeah, a real heavy. Yeah. Seriously, you're funny. You're welcome, love. Thank you, and happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday, love. Thank you. So yeah, the donation queue is once again open, so whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you. I'm sorry my face is in the shadows. I am in mourning. Thank you. Hey Darcy, how are you doing, love? Good to hear. Good to hear, love. Oh, how fun! Lovely, lovely. I went up to the mountains earlier this week. It was really nice to just get back in touch with nature. I've had better days. Like, we'll just leave it at that. I think, I don't know when the last time we spoke was, but I'm still at my parents'. I've been at my parents' for a few weeks because our kitty cat was not well. And she crossed the rainbow bridge today. So I've had better days. But I'm also really glad she's out of her pain and suffering. And that she was here with us. I don't really want to repeat it, but basically, I lost my cat today. She's been ill. She's been ill for a while, love. She's been ill for a few weeks. A little longer than that. But when we got back from vacation, she was very not well. And so I've been at my parents' house the past few weeks. And just trying to be here as much as I can. And she crossed the rainbow bridge today. She's at peace now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I got a little message from her. She's now one of my angels. She's not a Kangel. She's an actual angel now. She has upgraded to angel status. And I was running some errands, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know how I'm going to grieve tonight. I don't want to just sit around crying. But if I go online, I'll have, my community, and I can, talk to people and help people and vice versa. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a downer. Yeah. She hated seeing me miserable. Absolutely. Yeah, she was with us for 17 years. 17 years. She lived a long, good life. She was so loved. And if she didn't know that, then she cray-cray. She was the spiciest little calico cray-cray girl. Sassy. So sassy. But she knew we loved her. She knew we loved her so much. Yeah, I mean, that was my big fear of going to my brother's wedding this summer was what, will she be okay when we leave her behind for a month? And she already wasn't doing too well. But animals, no one is their time to go. She's not. I mean, we've had many cats in our lives. We used to have purebred cats, and they did not live that long. I mean, when I was a little girl, we lost 3 of our beloved cats at very young ages, about 7, 8, 9. Far too young for a cat. And so after the purebreds, we were like, no more, no meow, no more. So we got her from the pound 17 years ago. I remember I was the first one to lay eyes on her. Little white face, little black nose, just perfect. Perfect little creature. And now she's at peace. It's been really hard watching her. Because at the same time, like, okay, we were like, okay, like, let's put her out of her misery. But at the same time, it was like, she's very traumatized by getting in the car and going to the vet. So she wanted it. Everything was always on her own terms, you know. Everything was always on her own terms, as it should be. Was it nice and warm where you went camping? Because I know you're far up north. You know, I was actually going to go up to Alaska this summer for 1 week with my synagogue. We had a women's retreat in Alaska, and I almost went. But I remember telling my rabbi, I was like, I'm not sure about leaving my cat. She's not well. And she was like, what? I'm like, no, she's an older cat. Like, you don't get it. She's like, no, I do get it. I do. At first, I think she was like, wait, like, your cat? I'm like, no, for real. She's older, and she has abandonment issues. And I don't know why, because we've always been here for her. But we always had dogs and cats growing up with my parents, and have lost our last dog maybe a year and a half ago. Huge loss because it was such a huge. But yes, yeah. She was my sister. I always referred to her as my sister. She had her own stocking on the Christmas tree, or not on the Christmas tree, but over the chimney. She always had her own gifts. She was my little sister. And then she became my big sister. You know? She became an old lady. And, but of course, I remember her from the day I saw her. And she still, even in death, looks like a little kitten. You know? When you love someone, they don't lose that. You never stop seeing the baby in them when you've taken care of them since babyhood. Yeah, definitely part of the family. Absolutely. And dogs. That's the sad. It's just such a crime that dogs and cats don't live as long as us. And dogs live even less than cats. I've never had a dog. I've never had a dog. My roommate had a dog, and she passed away last year. Or sorry, the winter before last, during Hanukkah. And I was on vacation, and I was coming back. I was supposed to back, and I did come back the day after she passed, and I had no idea that she was even going to pass. She was just old. But yeah, I've never had a dog. But what scares me about having a dog is that they live even less. You know, it's cruel that we get to live this long and they don't. My parents finally got another dog a few months ago. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, it takes time, but it's worth it. He's been an amazing addition to our family. He is now our brother and uncle to our kids. It's wonderful. And that's the thing is people feel guilty about replacing their animal, but you can't ever replace an animal. Just like you can't replace a child, you can't replace a boyfriend, you can't replace a friend. But like they will never be replaced. But there's other loving animals that need our love and affection, and vice versa. We need their love and affection. And as jealous as Lula was, she would want us to be happy. I don't think she'd want to see another cat here. She hated other cats. But I think with a dog, I think she'd be like, can't compare to me, you know. I see my parents getting a dog next. I keep on telling them that. We've never had one. I'm like, I see you with a little puppy. I see you with a little doggo, protecting you, watching over, because they're great, you know. You can train them to do so many wonderful things. Cats, you can't tell them to do anything. And I freaking love that about cats. It cracks me up. So yeah, you could never get that girl to do anything that you wanted her to do. Yes, yes, that's the other thing. Cats and dogs absolutely, absolutely have a just like sorry, just like children, they have that clear third eye that hasn't been tainted. No one's told them that ghosts aren't real. No one's told them, you know, that spirits aren't real. So they see what they see. They see the reality. And when she was passing, she's been passing for the past week, but especially over the past 3 days, I kept on seeing her, like, just looking out of the corner of her eye at things. I'm like, what do you see, girl? Like, what do you see? You know? And already, I've already seen her little tail. And it's only been, like, 4 hours now. She's still here. They watch over us. They stay with us. Just like human spirits. Just like human spirits. And you know what's funny? Is I always called her my cangel. Cats are cangels and dogs are dangels. That's what I always call them. And I was brushing my teeth. I was about to run some errands, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just stay. I think she's gonna pass soon. And I went out and I said, how's my angel? Which I have probably like 50. I'm going to make a list of all of the nicknames I've had for her in my life. Angel was not one of them. It was Cangel. But for some reason, Angel just came out of my mouth, and my mom said, she's gone. She's gone. And I was like, there we go. She is an angel. Now she's an angel. Now she's my angel. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I don't mean to bum you out. I didn't want to come on here and talk about this, but you guys know how much I love animals and my babies. I know you guys do too. I don't think I have any clients or any members of this channel who don't like at least cats or at least dogs, one of the two. Most of y'all love both. Oh, thank you, Darcy. I appreciate you so much for listening to me. It means a lot. It was for the best. It really was. It really was. Yeah, because we had her scheduled for tomorrow at 1 p.m. to be put down, and I was just dreading. It was a 40-minute, because we live in the country, or my parents do, and it would have been a 40-minute drive and we were trying to find maybe one that would come to us, someone that would do euthanasia on her remotely. But they were all closed, and none of them came out this far, so I was just dreading driving her out there. So I think this really was a blessing. I know it was. And she has inspired me to fully, I've been saying it for about a year now, I need to apply to volunteer at the San Francisco SPCA. If I can't have an animal, I want to love them and take care of them. Any way that I can. The old ones, the sick ones, you know, the ones that aren't getting adopted. I want to be there for them every week, at the least. It's okay, love. And I'm not crying. I'm sniffling because I always get allergies when I come out here to Farmville. Same with my mom. My mom has another respiratory infection right now that she's fighting off. It's almost gone, but it sounds like she's crying when she's talking. But she's like, I'm not. I can tell when she really is crying when she's talking. But sometimes it just sounds like she is. But yeah, I'm gonna make a memorial for her tonight on both my Instagrams. So if you follow me on my Starry Tarot Instagram, you will see how I had a cat who looked like freaking Minnie Mouse. I'm not even joking. Little calico with a white face and a little black nose. Perfect. Perfect little creature. Or a little black face and a little white nose. That would have been so cute too. It was just like heaven just like marked a little like doop on her nose. So cute. I thought I could do this tonight, and the more that time goes on, and it's not a very busy night, I'm grieving harder, and there's like shadow on me too. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna call it a night. I don't know if I will be on tomorrow. I will do my best to come on tomorrow. I'll do my best to come on Tuesday. Again, private readings, I always accept them. And much love and light to all of you, and I will be in a better place next time you see me. Thank you.